Good morning everyone. See, in our previous class we discussed about the recruitment and also we discussed about the sources of recruitment. So, in sources of recruitment, as you know that there are two types or there are two sources of recruitment. One is about the internal sources of recruitment, another one is about the external sources of recruitment. So, in that we detailedly discuss about the advantages and disadvantages and also the methods which were used in the internal as well as external sources of recruitment, right. So, in this class we have two. Let us move towards the another component of the staffing, that is about the selection. Okay. So, in this class we will going to discuss about the selection and also the process of selection, okay, that we need to discuss. Today's topic, selection. So, as you know that the selection, it is also one of the component or one of the element in the staffing. So, as you know that what are all the elements in the staffing? There are majorly three elements. The first one is about the recruitment. Already we come to know what you mean by the recruitment, or we will detailedly discuss about the recruitment, and we have to discuss about the selection. Selection it is and second component in the recruitment. Okay. So, let me discuss about the what do you mean by the recruitment. So, recruitment andre enu, that we need to discuss. Okay. So, this what do you mean by the recruitment antandu, it may ask for the 2 marks. So, 2 marks question ge you can expect what do you mean by the selection. What do you mean by the selection antandu, it may ask for the 2 marks. Hagare what do you mean by the selection? So, selection can be defined as identifying or discovering the most suitable candidates in order to fulfill the job vacancies or in order to fill up the job vacancies or job position in the organization. See, we will go with the selection process. For what purpose? For the purpose of selecting the most suitable candidates or selecting the most appropriate or most suitable or best candidates for the position or the vacant position in the organization. For that purpose we are go with the selection. So, selection process nalli ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ selection process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ most suitable person. ಸೊ ಆ ಜಾಬ್ ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಜಾಬ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ most suitable candidates na in selection process we are going to select. Okay. So, that is called it as an selection. So, let me write the meaning. Selection, it is nothing but selection can be defined as selection can be defined as identifying or discovering more most suitable candidates to fulfill the vacant job position in the organization. So, the selection, okay, the selection can be defined as identifying or discovering the more suitable candidates. Okay, most suitable candidates for what purpose? For the fulfilling the for what purpose? For the purpose of fulfilling the job position. So, ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜಾಬ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ selection. Okay, so in other words we can say that selection, it is an process. So we are go with the selection. For what purpose means we are going to select, or we are going to select the most suitable candidates among the alternatives. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್, ನಾಟ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಆಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್, or we are going to get the large number of applications, right? So in those applications we are going to select the most suitable candidate. Okay, so as we know that recruitment process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಜಾಬ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ವೇಕೆಂಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ವೇಕೆಂಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತುಂಬ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರಿಸೀವ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. So among those alternative or among those application, which one is the best? Okay, so we are going to select that application. Who is the best one? We are going to select. So that is called it as an selection. Okay, selection, it is in simple selection, it is nothing but the putting a right person for the right position. So ನಮ್ಮ ಇರೋ ಜಾಬ್ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಪರ್ಸನ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪ್ರಾಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಆ ಜಾಬ್ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್. For what purpose? For the purpose of fulfilling the job vacancies or fulfilling the job position in the organization. So that is called it as an selection. Okay, as I told that this, what do you mean by selection antandu, it may ask for the 2 marks. So this is about the meaning of selection. Okay, and we have to discuss about the process of selection. Okay, see, in the process of selection, see, as a result of, as the end result of the recruitment, we are going to receiving the large number of application, right? And also this selection process, which is going to be starts from the screening of application, and also this selection process or this selection process we are going to be called it as a negative process. Okay, now selection process na negative process antandu kariತೀವಿ. Why we are going to call it as a negative process? Because in selection process the selected candidates are less and but the rejection candidates are more. In simple, the rejection is more than the selection. So that purpose, the selection process we are going to call it as a negative process. ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ recruitment we are going to receive the large number of applications. Okay, so in that large number of applications we are going to select the best candidates. Okay, so in order to select the best candidates, the selection process or the selection process which is going to be starts from the screening of application. So selection process ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್? Because in selection the candidates, who are all the selected, those selected members are less than the rejection. So or we can say the rejection members are more than the selection. So that purpose we are going to call it as a negative process. Say for example, if there is a if there is a post of 100 post ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. See, in 100 post ಅಲ್ಲಿ the application ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು 1000 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 1000 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ among this 1000 members we are going to select only 100 members. We are going to select only 100 members. Remaining 900 members are rejected. Okay, so selection is less than the rejection, so that this selection process we are going to call it as a negative process. Okay, and also this selection process having a several steps. Okay, it is having a series of steps. So what are all the steps that we need to discuss? Okay, let me discuss what are all the steps which were involved in the selection process. Okay, process of selection. So process of selection, it is called it as a negative process. So why we call it as a negative process? Because the selection is less than the rejection, or rejection is more than the selection. So that purpose we are going to call it as a negative process, or selection process ಅನ್ನೋದು negative process ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, so this question it may ask for the 8 marks. So write or explain the process of selection. So selection process ಏನಿದೆ explain ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತಂದು it may ask for the 8 marks. You can expect this question for the 8 marks. Okay, so let me as I told that in the selection process it includes the series of steps. So what are all the steps that we need to discuss? Okay, the first and foremost step in the process of selection, that is about the preliminary screening. Okay, preliminary screening. See, this preliminary screening, the selection process which is going to be starts from the preliminary screening. So selection process ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is starts from the preliminary screening. See, in preliminary screening, as we know that in the recruitment process we are going to receive the large number of applications, right? In the recruitment process alli navu en martivi, we are going to receive the large number of applications. So in those applications we are going to select, or we are going to make the list of eligible application. For what purpose? For the purpose of further process or further evaluation we are going to conduct the preliminary screening. So preliminary screening na yak ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, initially we are going to receive the more applications. Okay, so applications na receive ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. So ಎಲ್ಲಾ applications ನಾವು select ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, so we are going to make a list of eligible. Okay, so ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ eligible applications ಇದೆನೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, list ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. Okay, and also for what purpose? For the purpose of further, okay, further evaluation of that application or the candidates, we are going to go through the preliminary scanning or screening. We are go through the preliminary screening. Agare in preliminary screening what will going to be happen? See, in preliminary screening it is to be done for eliminating the unqualified or misfit candidates. Here, see, in preliminary screening what we are going to do means, here we are going to eliminate the candidates or eliminate the unqualified or unfit candidates. On the basis of what? On the basis of information supplied in the application form. So our application form alli yavella ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಆ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು we will take over for the further process. If it is not unqualified, directly we will go with the rejection of that application. For that purpose, we are going to do the preliminary screening. See, preliminary screening in simple, we are going to evaluate, okay, evaluate, or we are going to eliminate, we are going to eliminate the unfit. So, unfit ಅಥವಾ unqualified applications ನ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ on the basis of what? On the basis of the information given in the application. So, our application ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ information ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಆ information basis ಮೇಲೆ we are going to make a, or we are going to select, or we are going to eliminate the unqualified application or unfit application. See, in simple we can say, if the qualification or if the qualification does not match with the criteria, then it is directly go with the rejection of the application. Criteria ಮತ್ತೆ qualification ಏನು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ we will directly go with the rejection of that application. Okay, if it is matching means, so those application will forward or go forward for the further process. Say for example, agar a criteria, say for example, if it is an marketing job, okay, so marketing job ಗೆ criteria ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ MBA in marketing ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, and also with the percentage above 60% ಇರೋರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್, ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಲೋ ದ 60% ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ MBA ಇನ್ ಬೇರೆದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, HR ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ MBA ಇನ್ HR, okay, with a 60% or more than 60%, so this application will going to be rejected because the criteria for this marketing is MBA with marketing, MBA with a specialization of marketing and with the 60%, minimum 60% ಇರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. For what purpose? For the purpose of further process. If it is not matching, if the qualification and criteria is not matching, means that application will going to be rejected. Okay, so likewise in the preliminary scanning it will going to be happen. So in simple, in preliminary scanning what we are going to do, in preliminary screening we are going to eliminate, okay, we are going to eliminate the unqualified or misfit, okay, unfit or candidates on the basis of the information which is given in the application form. So application form alli yavella information kottidaro aa information basis mele we are going to take the decision whether this is to be selected for further process or not. So that is called it as an preliminary screening. So ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, preliminary screening ಅಂತೀವಿ, and this is the first step in the process of screening. Okay, and the next step in the process of screening is in the process of selection, that is about the selection test. The next one is about selection test. Okay, so selection test, it is an second process or second step in the process of selection. Okay, selection process alli second step yavadu andre that is about the selection test. Hagare in selection test what they are going to do means, so in selection test after the preliminary screening, so some applications are rejected. So if the qualification is not matched with the criteria, then those applications are rejected. If the qualification and the criteria which is matching means those application will move forward for the further evaluation or further process. So those application will forward to the selection test. Okay, so ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆನೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ಸು, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ನೋ, ಸೊ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆನೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ರೈಟ್? Because it is very impossible to select all the selected applications. So that purpose they are going to conduct the selection test. Okay, selection test na ya conduct ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ because ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆನೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Because so that purpose they are going to conduct the selection test. Hagare in selection test what they are going to do? So in selection test the organization prefers to conduct a written test. So here the organization will going to conduct the written test. For what purpose? For the purpose of knowing or for the purpose of find out the practical knowledge of the candidates. So our candidates ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾವೋ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ practical knowledge of the candidates. So candidates na practical knowledge ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the selection test. Okay, the types of test and the types of tests to be conducted depending upon the requirement of the organization. See, so there will be the various types of tests that we need to discuss. Okay, so these are all the tests. So depending upon the organization, so ಯಾವ ಥರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದು ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಸೈಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ the common test or the common types of tests conducted by the organization are. So here we can see in selection test there are some of the common types of test. Okay, so there are some of the common type of test which is conducted by the organization. So what are all those steps that we need to discuss? So in selection test ali, so it includes some of the common test. Okay, so what are all those tests that we need to discuss? Okay, the first one test is about the intelligence test. So first one is about the intelligence test, or you can call it as an IQ. So IQ is nothing but intelligent quotient. Okay, so the organization will going to conduct the intelligent test. So in intelligent test, this kind of psychological test is used to measure the level of intelligent quotient of an individual. See, as an individual or as an applicant, our knowledge hegide. Okay, in order to know the knowledge or IQ level of the candidates, ಆ candidates ನ IQ level ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the intelligent test. Okay, so in intelligent test they are going to conduct for what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the IQ level. Okay, so candidate na IQ level, IQ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ intelligent quotient. Okay, so ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ನ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೋಷಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ IQ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ intelligent test. So in simple, intelligent test which is going to be conducted for the purpose of measuring their knowledge. Our knowledge na measure ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the IQ test. Okay, and also this is an inductor. This is nothing but this intelligent test. It is an inductor of judging a person ability to take the decisions and the judgment. Okay, so it is an inductor. Okay, intelligent test another, it is an inductor for the manager to know the candidates ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೋತಾನೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ಏನಿದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್? ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು know the intelligence level or IQ level, in order to measure the knowledge of the candidates. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ನ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the intelligent test. Okay, so this is about the one of the test. Okay, and the next one test which is about the aptitude test. Aptitude test. So aptitude test, it is also one of the test which is conducted by the manager in the selection test. Okay, so this test is conducted to find out the potential of learning new skills in the candidates. So this aptitude test which is going to be conducted for what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the potentiality. Okay, so the candidates ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ನ್ಯೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ನ ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕಲಿತಾನೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ test. Okay, this test which is going to be conducted for what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the potentiality of the individual or the potentiality to learn the things, learn the new skills by the applicants. So applicants ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೊಸದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ how quickly, so here how quickly the candidate can learn the new things or new method. Okay, so it and also it helps to know how the candidates will going to perform in the future. So candidates ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸೊ ಈ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ this test. Okay, so basically this aptitude test which is going to be conduct to know the candidates. So candidates ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ಹೊಸ ಥರ ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಸ ಮೆಥಡ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕಲಿತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ವಾಟ್ aptitude test. So how quickly the candidate will going to learn the new methods or new things, okay, or new skills. In order to know this, in order to know the potentiality of the candidates, they are going to conduct the aptitude test. So this is also one of the tests which is conducted by the organization. Okay, so in intelligence alli enagutte, it is going to be conducted to know the IQ level. So ಅವನ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಅವನ IQ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ here intelligence is to be conducted. When it comes to the aptitude, so aptitude ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ನಿನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಶಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಹೊಸದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಸದನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕಲಿತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕಲಿತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ test. Okay, this is about the second test. And the third test is about the personality test. Personality. So personality test. So personality test, it is also one of the tests which is conducted in the selection test. Hagare, what do you mean by the personality test? So it is conducted to find out the human behavior of the candidates. So they are going to conduct the personality test. For what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the human behavior. So ಅವರ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the personality test. Okay, this personality test which is relating to the attitude of that person, okay, emotions, their maturity level, their value system ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, their emotions ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. So it is relating to these things. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್. ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸು ಹೇಗೆ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. So personality test which includes the attitudes of a person or the candidates, the emotion of the candidates, value system of the candidates and so on, maturity level and so on. It includes all those things. See, and also by conducting this personality test, the manager will come to know whether the candidate having the positive approach or negative approach. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಪರ್ಸನ್ನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದೆನಾ, ಇವನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಇದೆನಾ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ he come to know how much initiation he may take to perform the particular job. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ಜಾಬ್ನ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. For what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the human behavior. So how the behavior ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the personality test. Okay, so in personality test the manager will going to come to know whether the person having the positive approach or negative approach. So positive ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನ ಪರ್ಸನು, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನ ಆ ಪರ್ಸನು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ನ ತಗೋತಾನೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಜಾಬ್ನ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ test. Okay, this is about the personality test. Okay, and another one test is about the trade test. Trade test. So trade test, it is also one of the test. Hangare, what do you mean by the trade test? So trade test, this test is conducted to check the existing skill of a candidate. Say ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್, ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, so this helps to find out the level of knowledge and proficiency in the area of profession and the technical training. So through the trade test, so trade test ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಸೊ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬ್ನ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಸಿ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ನಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಅಕೌಂಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ನ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದು ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನದರ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್, I forget to say that there is a differences between the trade test and the aptitude test. Okay, so in trade test gu matte aptitude test gu difference ide. Okay, so in trade test alli enagutte, we come to know the existing knowledge of the candidate. Okay, candidate alli ಎಷ್ಟು existing knowledge ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದು through the trade test we come to know. See, when it comes to the aptitude test, so in aptitude test we are going to know, or we are going to measure the potentiality or ability of our candidates to acquire the future, okay, acquire the skills in future. Okay, so future ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ನ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಆಪ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್. ಓಕೆ, that is in the trade test. When it comes to the aptitude test, okay, in aptitude test we come to know the whether we are going to measure whether the ability or the potentiality of the candidate to acquire the skills in future. Future alli avanu eshtu skills na hege avana ability enu, ಓಕೆ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ನ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದು ಲೈಕ್ವೈಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೆಷರ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. So in this test is conducted for what purpose? For the purpose of finding out the type of job in which the candidates have more interested. So through this test, okay, through the interest test, we come to know the whether the candidates are fascinated about the job. So ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥರ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸಿ ಎ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಫ್ಯಾಸಿನೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ who are interested. So candidates na interest area ಯಾವುದು, ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತಂದು ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್. But if the candidate is not interested in, say for example, if the candidate is interested in taxation, but we are going to pick that candidate for the accountant. So in this scenario, Does it match? Interest is matching. So here the candidate will going to get the dissatisfaction towards the job because he does not get the job according to his interest. Okay, so avna candidate ge interest area dalli job kotre enagutte avನಿಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and also he will show more interest towards the job. Okay, if and also he will going to get the job satisfaction. But if we give the job or if we give the job not interest area, our person ge interest ಇಲ್ದಿರೋ ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಬ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, he will going to get the dissatisfaction towards the job. ಅವನಿಗೆ dissatisfaction ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, he is not get more happiness in the job. So that purpose they are going to conduct this test, that is interest test. So in interest test they are going to conduct to find out the type of job which the candidate having more the interest. So candidate ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct this test. Say for your examination purpose it may ask for the 4 marks. So explain the so mention the 4, sorry, not mention, explain the 4 types of test used in the selection of employees. So explain any 4, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ 4 ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ you have to write any of the 4, you have to write any of the 4, with that you have to explain. Okay, so it may ask for the 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks ಕೇಳೋ question, you can expect this question for the 4 marks. And also another one thing, for 1 marks also they may ask state any one of the test which is used in the selection. So selection process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ out of 5 you have to mention any one. Okay, so the likewise they may ask for the examination for the 1 marks and the 4 marks. This is very important. Okay, so let me recall. So intelligence test ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, here they are going to conduct the intelligence test. For what purpose? For the purpose of measuring the IQ level or intelligence level of the candidates. So candidates na intelligence level athwa IQ level na test ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the intelligence test. Okay, another one is about the aptitude test. So this aptitude test it is going to be conducted to find out the potentiality of the candidate to learn the new things. So ಹೊಸ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ನಾಗಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲಿತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the aptitude test. Okay, see when it comes to the personality test, see personality test which is conducted for what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the personality of the candidates. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ನ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the personality test. So here we are going to come to know about the behavior, their behavior of the candidates, candidates na behavior hegide, and also whether he is having a negative approach or positive approach, and also we come to know how much initiation he is going to be take for in order to perform the job. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ನ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ತಗೋತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ we come to know here. Okay, next one is about the trade test. So trade test, so this test is going to be conducted for what purpose? For the purpose of knowing the or in order to find out the existing knowledge of the candidates. So candidates ಗೆ existing knowledge ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the trade test. After that the last one is about the interest test. So this interest test which is going to be conducted in order to find out the interest area of the candidates. So candidates ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಸಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are going to conduct the interest test. So this is about the selection test. This is about the second process in the selection. Okay, process of selection. This is the second step. Okay, and the third step in the process of selection, it is about the employment interview. Okay, the next one is about the third step. Employment interview. This is the third step. Okay, here this is the third step in the process of selection. Okay, in the process of selection, it is the third step. Okay, and for your examination purpose, they may ask the question, what do you mean by the interview in the process of selection? So 1 marks ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು question, what do you mean by the interview? Interview ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದು it may ask for the 1 marks. Okay, see, when it comes to the interview which is going to be considered as a method of appraisal. As we know that, what do you mean by the appraisal? Okay, appraisal, it is nothing but here we are going to evaluate the performance. Okay, so that is called it as an appraisal. See, interview, it is also one of the method of appraisal through face to face conversation and the observation. So here we are going to conduct we are going to evaluate the candidates on face to face, through the face to face conversation or by the observation. Okay, by the observation, by the face to face conversation, we are going to conduct the interview. Okay, interview, it is also one of the method used in the evaluation, that is called it as an interview. Okay, this interview helps to the employer to evaluate the candidate regarding the personality, their smartness, their intelligence, attitude. Okay, in order to know all these things, they are going to conduct the interview. So what purpose they are going to conduct the interview means, so they are going to conduct the interview in order to know the smartness of the candidates, in order to know the intelligence, attitude, their smartness, likewise their personality. In order to know all these things, they are going to conduct the interview. Okay, in simple, the candidates who are all passed in the selection test. So selection test alli yarella pass agirtaro, so those candidate will move towards the employment interview. So yarella pass agirtaro athwa ee ella test galalli pass agirtaro, aa ella candidates ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, employment interview ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ.